Hello, Jonty.
Hello, Charlotte.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. And Pansy's on his way.
Let's say hello.
Here we go again.
So, how's your week been?
Well, it's not been too bad actually. For February, it's actually quite okay. No, I can cope. Well, a little bit of I can cope. A fat little mouse bit me at your house.
Yeah.
One of your cats brought this fat little fella into the kitchen, and I picked him up to get rid of him, and he bit my thumb, which was quite painful. And
Mm.
I dropped him outside, and he scuttled off.
I know. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, it's not
That's
your.
Smokey, the
Yeah, I'm gonna
Australian.
say he was a big
He was
boy.
about this big, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big
I'm not
unit.
sure whether it was.
Might have been a rat,
There's a lake at the end of the road, so
but
I
I'm
reckon
trying
it's
not to
from
think of
there.
him as a rat. He was a fat little mouse.
Didn't look like a rat to
No, I don't
me.
think it was a. I think
No,
he was just a fat little mouse.
he was a
Well, it
very
wasn't a
big.
little mouse. He was a big mouse,
It looked
and he
more
was
like a
fat.
chinchilla,
Well, whatever he was,
which
he
wouldn't be right.
he bit my thumb,
Mm.
and
I
you
know.
know,
Well, he hid, didn't he?
well,
It took a while to
he's
get him.
gone now because the cats didn't get him in the garden, so he must have gone under the hedge.
Yeah.
Ah, dear.
I knew it wasn't Houdini who brought it in because Houdini was looking very sheepish.
Yeah.
And so he knew that he was like, are you going to see what
Well,
Smokey's, because it's like he's
it
getting
is.
his
It is.
brother into trouble.
Yeah, it is
You
what
see
it
what
is.
Smokey's brought
But
in.
they hadn't damaged him. Smokey hadn't damaged him. He was still fully
Mm.
functional, and he's now somewhere else.
Just not what you needed at the start of your day yesterday, was it?
No, it was very painful. We had to put
Mm.
TCP on my cut.
I know. And I find that it's like strange because I was driving home the other day. And this spider just was coming down from the rear view
Oh no!
mirror.
Oh no!
And I just screamed. And I don't know why I screamed because it's
Well,
only a spider.
he was trying to find a home. That's what he was trying to do.
But it made me realize that I've got a lot of I can cope at the moment.
Oh dear.
Because if I'm reacting like that, and then I was trying to finish driving,
Yeah,
knowing that this spider was near my gear stick.
yeah,
But
yeah,
luckily, it was very
yeah,
slow
yeah,
traffic and I
yeah.
was nearly home. And then I went into the house to get a piece of paper,
And he'd gone.
came back and I couldn't find him. So
No, he's
he's
still
still
in
in
the
the car.
car. Yeah, he's all right. He's living his life.
I know he doesn't want to be there, and I know I don't want him to be there.
No, well, we'll try and find him next time I'm in the car. I'll try
But
and find him.
but I was rationalizing with my thoughts, like he can't hurt me. So
No,
why am I fearing him?
I don't know, but hopefully he won't bite me either.
No, but it's funny, isn't it? Our thoughts and how we
Yeah,
react, even though we know that it's a tiny thing, that there's no danger really.
no.
So it's how I program my mind to
Well, you
react.
live through your own thoughts, basically.
Yeah, and that's where like the overthinking, isn't it,
Yeah,
John?
it's overthinking it, and you then live through those thoughts. So,
And
I mean, overthinking is actually probably something that we all do, but you can always catastrophize and think the worst of everything and then live through it as if it's happening.
absolutely. And have you been doing some overthinking this week?
Yeah, I always overthink. Something I always do. I catastrophize everything.
And what have you been focusing on catastrophizing this week?
Pansy, actually.
Mm.
I worry about him and his move. Um, whether he fits in well, whether he'll be happy. Because if he's not happy, I'm not happy, and it's all just a knock-on effect, and then, there's a problem.
He's watching us at the
I know he's
moment.
watching us. I'm looking at him as well. He knows we're talking about him.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah,
How the animals understand.
yeah. He's a little person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything else you've been focusing on?
I've been reliving panic attacks actually.
Oh,
For 3 years following the 2008 crash, probably nine, no, probably 10, 11, 12, I suffered from panic attacks, whereas I couldn't go into, well, I had difficulty going into Tesco's unless I went in late at night and there was nobody there. Um, if it's crowded space, I'd walk in, I'd start getting feeling overwhelmed
Mm.
and anxious, and I'd end up putting my shopping basket down and running out, not running, but getting out the store as soon as I could. And I had problems going up to the second store of a shop. I couldn't go without unless I was accompanied by somebody I trusted. I couldn't go up on the second floor of Boots um, because I panicked basically, panicked up there.
And what do you think was the worry about it?
The worry, well, it was caused by lots of triggers. My world had collapsed in a heap, and I had no money. Well, nothing like enough money, and I lost my house and everything else like that. It was really bad.
But why would going up to the second floor in Boots
It was
be
just
more?
it was just massive overthinking in negativity, basically. Um,
Well, but the ground floor
but
was
the
fine.
ground floor was okay, but the second story, I don't know. It was just the way it was.
Did you think it might be too busy because it's quite a
Well, I
long?
worried about escaping, getting out of there quickly if I had to. I mean, I
Oh,
think when I had my panic attacks, I had to be near an exit.
mhm,
I couldn't go to, so cinema wouldn't be any good to me because I'd need to be
mhm.
constantly within
The door.
a door to get out if I had a panic attack. And panic attacks are horrible. They just sort of
Mm.
overwhelm you, and then you can't breathe properly, and it's just awful, terrible experience.
Well, they can affect people differently. So,
Well, I'm going to say it's each and every one, but for me, I had to be near an exit, and I didn't want to be with crowded people.
and what helped you calm down when you had a
Uh,
panic attack?
well, I had lots of doctors' opinions on it. Uh, it just generally faded off as I got used to my circumstances, and they just faded off basically. But that's the reason why I gave up driving because I had a panic attack on the way back from my dad's house
Mm.
in a traffic jam, and I couldn't cope with that, so I
Mm.
just gave up driving then.
Mm. But you don't, when was the last time you had a panic attack?
Oh gosh,
Approximately.
I haven't had one for probably 14 years.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
I'm reasonably back to normal, but there was a long 12-year period where I suffered from depression.
hmm. But if we go back to the panic
Yeah,
attacks, so with the panic attacks, you haven't had one for 14 years,
no, not really,
but
no.
you remember how they used to feel or
Well,
how they'd start.
that's how the conversation started. I was reliving the panic
Mm.
attacks and made myself thoroughly miserable. Actually, they're horrible. It's just a feeling of I can't cope, and
You said about the breathing.
well, I can't remember exactly whether
Mm.
but it's just panic basically. It's just you build it builds up and it builds up and it keeps building up, but you don't die, and it does fade off. But it was just nasty,
Mm.
and I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
No, no. I've had a few clients with panic attacks with the hypnotherapy, and recently I've got a young man who has them, and he was telling me that he just drives through them. He
Yeah,
knows that they're coming, really doesn't like them, you know, and but he's able to cope with them.
yeah.
He's
Well,
able
that's
to manage them.
that's where I got to as well. To start with, I panicked even more because I thought I had something wrong with me. But then I then just drove through them as well, and
Mm,
they come and go, and then it's just unpleasant.
Well, I saw him on Friday. It was the first session. And when he arrived, he told me that he was having had a panic attack sort of on the way,
Yeah,
just thinking about it all. And I will usually ask clients out of a 1 to 10, 10 being really bad and one being good, where they are with like their stress or anxiety. And he was like, I'm definitely at a 10.
yeah,
And then we did a couple of exercises. Um, and then he said, I'm at a 5 now.
yeah,
And then after the hypnosis, he said, if you were going to ask me where I am now, he said, I'm on 0. He said, I've been the calmest
yeah.
I've been for 5 years.
Well, I think if you're positive, you can handle anything. But if you're not positive, which is where I have problems, you have these things are mammoth, and they just get worse.
I think also it's the fact that you're looking externally to stimulation without meaning to, rather than connecting with yourself.
Yeah,
Because then once you're connecting with yourself, then you learn how to manage the stress, how I can cope, the anxiety, the panic attacks, like you've just said, knowing that they will pass. So you're
yeah.
accepting what's going on.
But there were external problems for me that weren't going to pass, and that's what.
No, but the panic, the
Oh,
feelings, yeah,
the
about the thing,
panic.
what is it within your
It
control?
builds up, and
Yeah.
then it bursts and it comes down.
Mm,
But you have to be positive about your future to do that, really.
you do. But, but as I say, it's about connecting with yourself. So once you notice the feelings, you can start using your senses.
Yeah,
Really think about if it's starting in your stomach and if it feels like butterflies on your tummy can feel really uneasy, you can start thinking about how that movement's going.
yeah. It depends on how you're wired.
It does, but it's practice though.
Yeah.
And then you're learning to connect with it and then you can change it.
Yeah, well, I had 3 years of practice, so all I can say is there are some things which happen,
Mm.
which it's like depression, clinical depression, you know, just that you can't talk your way out of clinical depression. You need treatment and your circumstances to change.
Yeah, yeah. But it's also about learning coping techniques as well, Jonty.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
It's not an argument. It's
There are
just,
some things that you can't change.
yeah.
If somebody's partner dies or they're going bankrupt or things like that.
No, but and that's not what I'm saying. But the
Yeah,
way that you feel about them, you can manage them. You might not, straight away your reactions you won't know about. I mean, they're very extreme circumstances there, but you can manage how you feel, but it's learning how to manage how you feel and how you react to things. Those are the things that are within your control, your feelings, your emotions.
yeah,
Yeah, so whatever the circumstances are, you know. Like when you had got hold of that mouse and it
yeah.
bit you, a lot of people would have just dropped it. I would have dropped it.
Well, I had to get him out the
I
door
know, but
because if I didn't get him out the door, he'd come back. I'm
but
not.
he was giving you pain.
Yeah,
And you did really well there because you
yeah,
managed the pain over the objective.
yeah. I got the job done.
That's right. Yeah. But
Uh,
that's a good example of you being able to cope. You coped
yes,
with the pain.
but there is a positive element to that. Is that I wanted to get the job done.
Yeah.
If you're really depressed and you don't give a damn about life in general,
Yeah.
and you're hovering around the bottom,
Yeah.
you don't bother with techniques. You don't want you.
No. But you didn't want to carry on feeling that way with the panic attacks, though, did you?
I was trying to do the best I could to
Mm.
survive, and I had everything. I felt like everything was stacked against me on that front.
But it's not like that now.
No, it's not nothing like that now. It hasn't been like that
And
for
it's so good that you've not had panic
yeah.
attacks.
No, I won't be making those mistakes again.
But you know, talking about panic attacks, what would
Yeah.
be your information to pass on to people that might be having panic attacks?
Well, they didn't ki they don't kill you. So relax, wash it through, and uh, just do the best you can.
When you say wash it through,
Let it wash through.
allow it to
Yeah,
happen,
allow it to happen.
to
Let it wash
not
through.
fight
I'm
it.
no doctor, but that's what I did
Yeah,
because I allowed it to wash through, and then it stopped being. It's a little bit like the nervous breakdown. Don't pump adrenaline into the system when you're in trouble.
yeah, don't feed it. That's it.
Don't
It's that
feed it.
acceptance that I
You know,
want
there you are
to, yeah.
standing in Tesco's with a basket, and you're panicking about what could go wrong. Just relax and do the best you can and let it happen. There are nice people around you. That no one's going to be nasty to you if you do have a problem, and just go with it, basically.
Mm, mm. Other things that can help is like just counting because you're focusing on something else.
I don't know.
No, no, I'm just saying
Yeah,
other things that have worked for people is like just counting, like counting to 10
yeah. Well,
and things like
I
that.
don't know, but it's sort of like like I said, I got through it by just letting it wash through.
Mm, yeah. So that is allowing it to happen.
Yeah, allowing it to happen. Don't try and fight it
Yeah.
because it just makes it worse.
Yeah, because you're then feeding it with
Yeah.
more.
I mean, it took me a long time before I worked that one out. But just go, if Tesco's is a problem with busy times, go at a time when they're not busy and just take your time and practice doing that.
Mm, mm. No, that's very good advice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well, that
good.
was, I mean, like I said, I was sitting in the market square thinking about the fact when we decided to do
Mm,
this one about panic attacks, I was reliving them, trying to get them as real as you remember it as they were. But
mm.
like I said, I haven't had one for a long time, and I hope never to get them again.
No, that's good. And last night I had a party. I know
Yeah,
that's just like just jump,
yeah.
but we were talking about parties and why, did you ever have a panic attack at a party or when you were in a
No,
club or
no, I
anything
didn't
like
go to parties.
when you're like really busy?
No, I didn't go to parties. I didn't go out. I hibernated.
Do you still get nervous about going to a party?
I don't like going to parties. I like going to parties, but I don't like talking to people. I talk to people for a living, and I'm quite. I like the company of people, but I don't want to hear. I don't want to talk to them.
You did all right last night.
Yeah, I do little bits. I do small talk with people, but I don't like talking to people. I mean, it's stressful. I can cope, basically.
But you enjoyed talking to the people last night,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was good
I
fun.
mean, I like the pub. The pub's lovely, but you do hear a lot of stories.
All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's good fun though, wasn't it? Inflatable
Yeah, no, the party was
spoon
it
wrestling
was a good
suits.
party. Don't get me wrong, it was a very good party. I enjoyed sitting in a chair listening to the karaoke, but I didn't want to take part in the karaoke.
I was trying to
Now,
get you to, yeah.
if I'd had a few beers, I might have gone and had a go, but I don't drink, so I sat in a chair listening to people,
Yeah.
and
And,
it was fun.
and Graham, my friend Graham,
Graham's very good.
he did magic and
He's
singing.
very clever man. If you want a magician, that is the guy you want.
Yeah, Graham Webber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good guy. He did a trick which I cannot understand how he did that.
No, it was really, really good.
It's a little bit too clever for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good then.
Yeah. So
S-
overthinking, basically overthinking is a part of the problem with panic attacks. if you constantly think about something, it can overwhelm you and lead into a bit of uncomfortable feelings.
Mm, definitely. But there are best thing to do is to not feed into it and just to allow them to happen.
Yeah,
And then they will get less and less as time
yeah,
goes on.
yeah. You don't want to panic turns into sort of like horribleness.
Yeah. And then put in other steps. This is what I would say as a therapist. You put in other steps in place to recognize what the triggers are
Mm.
to help alleviate the opportunities happening more.
I mean, my panic attack, when I was in an extreme position, I don't think I know anybody else who's been in that position, but it was just everything was wrong.
Mm, yeah, but when you're running a business, a lot of people can feel like that.
Well, this was worse than that.
Mm, okay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you very much, Jonty.
that's all right, Charlotte person.
Thank you. Do follow and subscribe and add your comments and your experiences
Yeah.
on I Can Cope Method on YouTube, Facebook. I'm Charlotte Phillips, clinical hypnotherapist and NLP practitioner at What Is Your Story Hypnotherapy, and you're
I'm the landlord of the Duke of York pub in Salisbury with a cat called Pansy. That's what I got.
Jonty Newbury.
Jonty, yeah, just Jonty.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.